Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to my channel. Our page is up and live. We don't get disconnected. Make sure that everyone is here and ready. Um, so as you can see in the description box, we're going to be creating. My glue is hot, so let's get started. In the description box, we're going to be working on the ski ball custom mini. Okay. My phone has been really tripping. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can share the screen and put the. Or actually, I'll put the link in the box below. I'll put in the comments. So that's where we're starting from. Alright, so that you can click on there and see exactly what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Okay. So the way that I'm thinking about this is that I want it to be the right size. So lengthwise, it does work. Um, I thought this would be ideal. I'm using a cereal box, but the edge of this would be ideal for rolling it up. I'm thinking about the rings of it. So I actually would want this to be just a little bit bigger, but it definitely works. So we're gonna go with maybe double that size to create the rings. So I'm gonna cut this in half. I'll have to show you my cutting. So they don't want to just look at me. I'm in like really beautiful. Okay, so now we have this piece. And to answer your question, no, I don't always use like a ruler or measurements. It depends on what it is, um, but we don't always use them. Now, the reason why I'm going to use this piece is because these flaps will be very resourceful in a little bit. And then again, this part right here is just ideal for rolling the ball up and then actually getting the ball into the rings. So we are going to keep this part and we're going to cut along the side, leaving a little piece. Okay, now for this next part, which is the part that'll sit like this, right? We're going to need to cut again. So we'll cut like along this part. So it'll look like this. And then it'll lay like on the side there. All right. So we'll need to measure this side for there. So let me get a pen. I'll measure. So we have that there. I'll show you my the markings. So we're going to use that. And we'll measure the side. All right. So we'll measure up to about here. And I'll need a ruler. I don't have a ruler, but I'll just measure like on the side. And this might be a little bit too big, but the point is that it's there. So I'm going to go back to my reference image and make sure that it's a good size. So it'll need to fit one ring here, and then two more rings, and then a third ring at the top, and then two more there. So it actually is a good size after reviewing the reference photo. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to cut this part here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece out. I'm going to cut just a little bit past that for a flap to attach to the backing. All right, because the backing is going to be straight, and that way it'll go against the wall. Okay, so we're going to cut just a little flap for this part. All right, so we have this part here. Okay, so now we have this part. We're just going to bend it back. That's the little flap that we were talking about. And that part's going to go this way. And then there'll be this flat piece that goes straight down. Okay. and then it'll be the part that goes against the wall. Okay, so we're going to attach this part to here, and this back flap will be the bottom support, the base support for there. And then, so it's too bright. Too bright. Let's see if we can like. Is that good? Okay, better. Alright, so we can put this part there. Okay, so that part's gonna go there, and then this part will roll it up. So next we're going to attach the rings to these parts here. So it'll be a ring on this one, a ring on this one, a ring on this one. So we're going to start attaching the rings to it. Before we attach the rings, I want to draw them in first to make it more definite. So I have this tape here that I'm going to use to make the first ring, and then from there we'll use the other rings. Okay. So we have these two rings here on the side. Okay. So now we have this one big ring. Okay. So with that one big ring, we're going to go and do the other rings, the more smaller rings. Okay. Now for the smaller rings, there's like two inside of this bigger ring. So there's two rings inside of this one, and then there's another one right above it, and then there's two like outer rings, and those are worth more points. So we're going to start with the 10, 30, the 10, the 30, and the 40 we'll do first. So those two will be right on the inside. And those we can do with like a marker, or maybe like a marker cap. Like this is like kind of big. So I could probably use this one, or even a smaller one, like this marker. This marker cap, I think this one's bigger. So we'll go with that one for this one. Right? So we're gonna put it like right centered in the so centered there. I'm just gonna move it a little bit this way. Alright, and then we'll do one more. Okay. Yep. I made a little squiggly there, but it's okay. And then the other one right here. So the next one is right above the circle, and that one will do the same, and it will like almost hug the other one. So we'll put a little space in between there, but they both like almost hug the other. All right. All right, so we have both of these together, and then we need to put one more above here. And this one, I believe after that, they're all about the same size. Okay, so we'll put another one right above it. I'm going to try to use my pinky to hold it down. All right, so now we have that one together. So we have the third one. Now we're going to do the two on the outside. The two on the outside are going to be a little bit different. So there's one out this way and one out this way. They're a little bit closer though together. So I'm going to put them both like right here, almost like a half inch above the other two. And so that would be there, and then the other one will be there. Okay, and then the other one we're gonna put right over here to the side and put that there. Let's hold it down. Trying to keep it from going wild. And we have that one there. Okay, so now that all of them are in place, does it look familiar to you? Right? So it kind of looks familiar, right? So with that there, we will now place the rings. For the rings, I thought of a few ideas, but I think the most effective one is just creating them ourselves with more of the cardboard. So we're gonna cut a few pieces of those. And if that doesn't work, I have also some toilet paper rolls that we can use. So we're gonna cut some of these pieces to size. Okay, so we're gonna just cut a nice even line here along the side of our other previous cuts. And we're gonna make and then this ring, I'll use a pin to make it round. Okay. And that just helps it round those edges. And then we'll place it right in the space. Now, as you can see, this one is a little too small. So what we'll do is go ahead and work on the outer rings first, and then bring our way in. Okay. So um, I'll need a little thing of glue. I have some glue here. We'll glue them to size. So go ahead and place it in the space. Let's move it up so you can see. Okay. And it's about right there. So I'll put some glue on that space. I'm going to cut it so that we can see. So make a cut there and then put a little bit of the glue. So I'm going to put the glue right here. Okay. And so now we have one ring. So with that ring, we'll place it there. And the placement we're going to put one more dab of glue in there just so that makes sure that that it doesn't come off. Yeah, it almost got me. And then we're going to cut this part off. All right, so that we have a cool ring there. Now, the only thing I did not do, I made a mistake of doing it on the outside, which is fine because the graphics of the cereal box makes it look like it's like, um, gamey. So uh, we'll put those there still. But before we do that, I'm going to make sure I color this top part with a blue. So I'm going to get a blue Sharpie or blue marker and color that part in. And then we'll finish the rings. So the main color of this is blue. So we'll do that and then finish the rings. Okay. All right, so we're just going to color this in. Make it nice and neat. I'm going to kind of go around the rings so that I can still see them. Okay. Is it a little shaky? My camera's like a little shaky, so we have to color passively. In our color therapy, we're like being mindful of that, our tension when we're coloring, because that does it makes a difference. And how well you feel. The same thing with writing too. Like if you're writing or journaling, want to be mindful of the tension that you put on the utensil. Cooking, same, right? If you're stirring too hard or if you're just stirring gradually, all things to be mindful of. Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the other side and finish coloring this in. You can also paint it, if you want like a more like shine to it, add a finishing, and really make it look nice. But it's up to you on how you want to do it. Alright. Okay, so now we have that part there. And this is the part that we're talking. So I want to go in on these parts, but I know there will be like a hole here as well on the ski ball. There's another hole there. So I'm going to use the cap of this one and make the hole first. And then we'll go and then we'll make the ring around it. Okay. So we have this one here, and it's a little out of the alignment. So we may have to like put it a little bit over. Okay. But the inside of there should have this same. It should have the same color as the background. So we'll color inside of here as well. All right. My glue is piling up. Okay. And then we'll go one more time right there. All right. So we're gonna color in this inner circle, making sure it's nice and pretty. Okay, and then we're gonna go on the other side. We're gonna color again on the other side. Alright. Okay, so now we have something like this. Okay. Once we put the rings and the holes inside, and it should be good. So let's go ahead and attach those rings. I'm trying to keep it clean on the rings. We're gonna put the first ring, and the first ring will look something like this. Right? And then what I also noticed was that the amounts are on the inside for some, and then they're on the outside for others. Like this one, the amount is on the outside. So I would need to put like a little label for the amount. So we may just do the score like on the last one. Okay. So let's go ahead and apply the first ring. I'm really excited to see. I love how these little mini projects just come together, and it's really a good pastime. Okay, so we're gonna put the first ring on there. I'm applying the glue very thin so that it doesn't look real like glomp, like glompy on there. So we're applying a very thin layer, and we're going to attach it to the side there. Okay. So we're just gonna hold that for like a few minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A few minutes, few seconds. And it's looking like that, right? Does it look familiar yet? No? So I'm going to use the one that we have here, the cutoff that we had from the last one. And we're going to go ahead and create the next one. So I have to roll it just until it's the right size. Okay, and that's the right size. So we're going to pull it apart and add some glue to the edge so that we can keep it in place. Just a little dab, not too much. And hold it for a few seconds so it can dry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then replace it to make sure it'll be in the right place. And it is. So then we'll go on the inner circle, placing some glue to the inner circle up. So this one's actually on pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim the edge. All right, so I trimmed the edge and then there's still a little bit that doesn't have glue. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue right there, just a small dab, okay? All right. Okay, so now it's a little more circular, a little less of the, right, like a ring that you would put on your finger almost. So we're going to place that one back in its place. Okay, so we're just going to add a little bit, and as you can see with the cereal box, the graphics on it, a little bit different colors, but definitely bright and vibrant, and it's keeping the excitement there. So we're going to add a small layer of glue to the bottom and just kind of work our way around. Okay. So we put a small layer. It's a little bit thicker than the other one that we had. So I'm hoping it doesn't leave like a really big mess. But I'm going to go through and kind of wipe around it. So I'm pressing on it real good. And we're just going to wipe around it to clean it up a little bit. All right. What I didn't want was that for the glue to be too visible on the bottom. So, right. So now we have that together. It's looking good, right? Let's see what we had. So for the next part, we're just going to continue. We're going to make a few more cuts for the other rings, and then we'll continue the placement for each one. Okay. So I'll go back to the recent board that I had, and we're going to make another cut about the same size, right? So about the same size as the one before. So I need to put it like this. I didn't measure, so I had to measure it from the height of the other one so that we can keep that consistency with the rings being the same height. Um, it might be like too big. Right. All right, so we have this part here, and we're gonna cut it. Right, and we're gonna roll that up. Okay, so now it's all rolled up and real cool. This one will not fit around the biggest ring, right? But it will be a good size for these smaller ones. So we're gonna cut it again once we get it to size. Okay. Um, we could even use the marker, the thing that we measured with, to find that right size, right? Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of glue there, just a dab, and we're gonna roll it a little bit past, just to overlap just a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna pull it out. And then cut it on the side there. Okay. And we have it's just a little bit unsecure there, so we're gonna add a little bit more glue to that part. Alright, so we're putting that part there. Okay. Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and place that one in its spot. Now for these next two, it was a little unique in the way that the score was written on the back side and on the front. So we'll need to add in a marker the score of 50. Okay, so we'll have to put like a 5. So I put a 5 0 there so that it'll look like the score. Alright, now that we have the spot, we're going to put a light layer of glue around the ring. So we're going to put a light layer going right around. Okay, and we're going to place that ring right here, making sure that the number is visible right at the top. I'm just going to put a little pressure on it, right? And go around and clean those edges real neat. Right? Looking familiar now? Okay, so we're gonna keep that same momentum going around to each one. This next one almost hugs the other one. They are touching very close. So although I made my ring like that, I'm gonna still kind of put it a little bit bigger to where they are touching. Okay. It doesn't have to be exactly like it, right? So we're going to use our own little creativity and make it to where the rings are touching just a little bit. All right. So that would look something like this. So just a little bit bigger than the other one. Okay. So I'm going to add Okay, so I put a little double glue there. I'm going to trim those edges. Make sure they're trimmed real good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put the ring in place. Right? And then we're also leaving a little bit space because there's still a large ring that has to go in between these two. Okay, and that's what'll give it that touch. So for now, they're not touching, but once the larger ring is in place, they will touch. Okay, so we have that one in place there. We're going to go ahead and put that light layer on there. Also, we need to add the next score, which is 40. So we'll put the 40 on there with the I'm going to actually use a pin So write the 40. Alright, so we have that there, like that. So you can see the score 40 there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add the light layer of glue to the end. Just a light layer so that way we don't have to clean up those edges so much. We're going to place it on the spot, making sure that the 40 right is at the top, aligned with the other score, okay? Want some light pressure, press down on it, and alright, so we're just pressing down on it. Looking familiar? Yeah. So we got a good little bit there. So we're gonna go with the next one, cutting another one. So we have a few, one more small one, and then we're gonna do the very big one. Okay. So keeping that same size, because I didn't measure right, so we had to make sure that we got the same size. Okay, so we're just gonna cut that part. Use our pen to make our round edges. Alright, so now we have another round. This one we're gonna do right here in the center. On some skee ball games, they have where the circles are different sizes to make it like more easier. So for this one, we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger than the other to make the game a little more easier. Um, so we have this one here. Okay, so we have that one there, and then we'll go with let's get the marker so we can see. So we're gonna go with the marker method again. I'm gonna just put it a little bit at the top. It's a little fatter there. So I'm gonna put it there on that part. And put some dab of glue there. And then hold it in place and roll. I'm just gonna hold it down real tight until it's nice and in place, permanent there. And then okay. And to cut the edges, just gonna trim them. Okay. Okay, so now we have them trim. Nice another ring. And we'll put that one there. And for this one, I think it's 30. 30 and 10. So we'll put the 30 there. And we'll use a pen again. And make a 30. All right. So now we're going to put the 30 in place under the 40. These two are touching. Okay. I'm going to come with a light layer of glue. Okay. And we're just going to put some light pressure on there. Okay. All right. So we have that there. As you can see, the alignment is a little off, but I don't measure, so that's the result. We also did not put one there or there. Okay, so we have that. And we're going to do one last ring. All right. Our last ring is the biggest one, and it's going to be going around here, the very big one. Okay. So we're going to take the piece that we have to measure the length, and we're going to cut again along the side, and instead of cutting um all the way, we're going to cut Okay, so we have this one. It does go a little this way for some reason. So we're going to cut going that way to keep our alignment. Now we're going to use the circle pin to do the round. Okay, so now we have another round. And remember, I like the graphics to be on the other side, so we're going to go rolling it around again on the other side to make it nice and round. All right. So we took that around and made it go all the way. So now we're gonna just make it go all the way around the ring. Hopefully the two will touch at that part. You see that there? So they literally just connect at that flap. If we do the flap, then the ring will fit perfectly just like that. So I'm gonna just hold that position there. Lift up this little tab. Lift that back. All right. I'm gonna put that there and then flap it down. Okay. And so we have that there. Okay. So we're just cleaning up the edge. And then we're going to go ahead and lift that flap again. And add that part onto the other side. Okay, we're cleaning up the edges again. Got a little glue stuck on me. Okay, now for the final part. We're going to put it in place. And putting a light piece of glue, light layer of glue going around. Okay.